Ultamize. If you want people to think you're a great conversationalist, a shortcut, become a better listener than almost everyone else. That's it. Because most people are not actually listening. They're waiting for my turn. I want to talk, waiting for a gap, waiting for something they can respond to. Let me show you what that looks like. You're talking to someone. You're explaining something that happened to you. And as you're speaking, you can see it. They nod. They say, yeah, yeah. But something feels off. They jump in just a little too quickly. They take your story and turn it into their story. You say, I had a crazy experience at the airport this weekend. And before you even finish, they say, oh my God, airports are the worst. I had the same thing happen to me last month. Now the conversation has shifted, but not really in a good way. You don't feel heard. You feel interrupted, even if they didn't mean to interrupt you. Now, here's what's interesting. That person probably thinks they're being engaging. They're thinking, hey, I'm relating. They're thinking they've added to the conversation. But what they're really doing is signaling, I'm more interested in what I have to say than what you're saying. And people feel that immediately. Now, let's look at a different version of the same moment. You say, I had a crazy experience at the airport this weekend. And the other person does something very simple. They maintain eye contact, they nod slightly, they let you finish. And then they say, what happened? That's it. 2 words, no story, no interruption, just what happened? Now you feel heard. Now you want to keep talking. Now you're more engaged. And here's the important part. You start to like that person more, not because they impressed you, not because they entertained you, not because they were witty, because they made you feel something. They made you feel like what you were saying mattered. That is the core of great conversation. Now, let's make this even more specific. You're talking to someone at a social event. They're telling you about something they enjoy. Maybe it's pickleball, maybe it's hiking, maybe it's cooking. A weak listener hears that and thinks, okay, when do I get to talk about my thing? A strong listener does something different. They pick one detail and they stay with it. You said you've been playing pickleball a lot. What got you into that? Now the person lights up because you didn't just hear the topic, you engaged with it. Now compare this to what most people do. They hear pickleball and immediately say, oh, yeah, I've been meaning to try that, or I do it all the time now. I'm a 4-0 player. And now the focus shifts back to them. It's subtle, but it completely changes the energy. Here's another real world moment. You're talking to someone, and while they're speaking, you look past them. You scan the room. You check your phone for a second. Yeah, you think it's harmless, but to them, it feels like this conversation is not that important. Even if you didn't mean it, even if you were just distracted for a second, attention is felt, not explained. So if you want to instantly improve your conversations, start with this. Listen like it actually matters. That means eye contact, not staring, but present. No phone, no scanning the room, no interrupting. Don't jumping into your own story too quickly. And then one more thing, after they finish speaking, ask something about what they just said. Not a new topic, not something about you, something about them. You mentioned that the project was chaotic. What made it so difficult? I'm curious, what do you like most about that? When did that start for you? Simple questions. These are simple, but they're powerful because they show you are paying attention. That alone makes you stand out because most people don't do it. Now, here's the part that surprises people. When you do this consistently, people walk away from the conversation thinking, that person was really interesting, even if you didn't say that much. Because what they're actually remembering is not your words. They're remembering how they felt talking to you and they felt heard. They felt engaged. They felt understood. They give you the credit. That's the leverage. You don't need to dominate conversations. You need to make people feel like they matter inside to them.